All right, welcome everyone. This is going to be a fun call tonight. Congratulations to everyone that earned and attended Leaders Retreat in the beautiful Punta Cana. Lovely resort, beautiful, beautiful views. Hopefully, if you weren't attending, you at least got to stalk everyone's photos to see all the things. But I just thought it'd be helpful to come on and just do a little debrief together to share just what we took away with some overarching themes and some specifically some action steps because that's the main thing is when we come off a leadership retreat we not only want to be feeling inspired and be thinking maybe some higher level thoughts but most importantly taking action from what we learned and what we gleaned. So I'd actually love it if you guys would shout out in the chat if you earned it and if you earned a tier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 prize. So put it in the comments because I actually was kind of shocked that they didn't recognize that at that meeting, which I did submit for a suggestion for the next leaders retreat because I know it was really fun to see the rank ups recognized during leaders retreat. But there's also people that earned like a prize or multiple prizes or swept the entire contest. And nobody walked the stage for that. So anyways, hopefully next time they will definitely recognize on stage um, those special things. So pop in the chat. There's more than 4 of you on. There should be 15 or close to 15 of you chiming in. All right, I know people are still popping on the call, but go ahead and yeah, just shout yourself out. If you have a teammate that earned something, earned the retreat and or earned prizes, pop that in there too. All right, so fun. Okay, well, I'm actually going to turn it over to one team's tier 5 prize earners. Starting with Angie Ambrosetti. She is an Emerald, soon to be Sapphire Ambassador on our team, and she had super high points. I don't even remember, Angie, I know you had a specific goal of what you wanted your credits to be, and you hit it, I believe, or exceeded it because I know you wanted. Tell us again what your goal was. How many did you want to be?
So my goal was to be in the top 30.
Top 30. Okay.
And so I did
You
that.
did
I
it.
was so excited.
So fun. Tell us do you remember what your credits were?
Um, I don't know. I honestly do not know. I just kept thinking because I knew on the cruise that the top 30 earners got different rooms. They got like even better upgraded rooms. And so I was like, I'm gonna be within. I think I was number 28. I can't remember, but I was like, I don't even care. Like, even if I'm number 30, I'm like, it's the top 30.
So fun.
so, so that was fun. Yeah.
Okay, well, why don't you share your top takeaways and then we'll kick it over to Brandy and then to Brooke and then we'll go from there. So I was just thinking for this call, it's casual popcorn style. Let's hear kind of mastermind together. And those of you who weren't at Leaders Retreat, you can glean if you're catching the recording, fabulous also because you can glean with what we learned and kind of what we took away for your own businesses too.
Okay, awesome. So one of the things is that anyone can earn this. You do not have to be a diamond or a sapphire or an emerald, or you can be brandy new because brand new people were there and earned the trip. Some people earned it within the first month. And so to me, I've worked in a lot of different network marketing companies over the past 30 years. And that speaks so much volumes that it's just not for the tippy top. And one of the things that I love about how Plexus does the way they have revamped it from when I first started is that a lot of it used to be based on your sales as far as like what your PV was, you could earn more. And they stopped doing that because everybody could go in and buy whatever. Like if you financially could do that, then you could kind of buy it. You know what I'm saying? And well, where it is harder to earn some sense, I guess, when it's only levels 1 and 2, like you do the work because I don't ever, this is just my perspective. I don't want people thinking, oh, well, of course she's going to earn the trip because she's an emerald and she has all this team under her. First of all, I worked really hard to get all those people under me and get to emerald. But second of all, I had to do the work. you all had to do the work yourselves to earn this trip. So I love the new structure that they've had for the past couple retreats. And so anyone can do this. That's my biggest takeaway from the whole thing. You want me to keep going?
Hey, sorry about that.
Fine.
No, that's wonderful. And yeah, that was a really important highlight just to mention that Plexus has been structuring their trips. I was typing and then realized I was muted and my camera was off. But they've structured these trips recently for the new, which I think is so fun and so cool. So we're gonna go ahead and bounce it over to Brandy, the next in line for top earners on the team. It actually is Brandy on. Let me look. Oh, there you are. I see you.
I'm here.
Hello.
Hi.
So you're an example of someone that's new that earned this trip in 12 days, I think.
I earned it in 12 days. I did. So hello. What Angie was just saying, I was somebody that literally started sharing, and then 12 days later, I had this trip that I was like, I don't know that I want to go on this trip with all of these people that I don't know. But I have two big takeaways that I want to talk about. And the first one is, I didn't know how it would be meeting all of these people because I had never really met anybody in person. This was not only my first leaders retreat, but this was actually my first in-person thing that I have done with Plexus outside of Super Saturday. But that was just like our local people. And I had kind of met some of you already. So this was our big like introduction. And the importance of community is my number one takeaway. I met so many people. First of all, I got to put bodies to all of your faces that I see on these calls. Y'all knew me because I'm the new face. You guys all knew each other, but then you also recognized me because I am the new face. And everyone was so welcoming and so loving and so uplifting. But then I also met people who were not us, like people I was sitting next to on the plane. We were sitting next to this fella on the way down, and we realized that his wife was on the plane too. She was Plexus. She and I ended up being right next to each other during senior gold recognition. And she's like, "Hey, plane girl." And I'm like, "Plane girl." And her husband was waiting at the bottom and he's like, "Plane girl." And I was like, "Yeah, it's me." So like you kept running into the same people and everyone was just so happy to see you, like no matter whose team they were on. And then another thing I got to do was do the VIP party with Angie, Brooke, and Megan introduced us then to some more people. I learned how Plexus has impacted some leaders from Mary Kay who have done in 6 months with Plexus that they did in 6 years with Mary Kay. I got to meet people who like Trisha Rieger that we follow. Like I got to meet all of these people and they were giving me tips and us tips. We got to brainstorm together. That sense of community really boosted my confidence in what I am doing here. So that was fantastic. And then my second takeaway, I'm sorry, I'm going to hurry up because I know Brooke probably has some of the same things that I'm going to say, but my second big takeaway was about team building and the importance of it. I joined because of the products and I started sharing because of the products. And almost everyone that I met that was like top of the ranks, same deal. They had no intentions of selling. And they also like almost didn't do this because it was an MLM. So while we were there, we learned more about how to make this more of a business opportunity instead of a product opportunity, which we all need because all of us started because the products are good. We believe in them and we want other people to do that. So hearing the importance to like goal set with your team, build love and character with your team, make sure that you're investing in the people who want this business and really giving them your time and energy. I'm going to shout out Megan. I met on the way home. Brandon and I were getting ready to go through American Customs and we were standing next to a woman. We started talking about business. I found out that she is a diamond re-entry ruby. And so she was talking to me about the business. And then she said, "Well, who is your upline diamond?" And I said, "Megan Goff, I'm her L1. She said, "Then you don't need me." She said, you have the best leader in Plexus. And I agree. That is a huge takeaway for me. We have a fantastic leader. So she has been helping us learn how to team build, but it is so important. And we were definitely, that was reiterated several times while we were there. So those are my takeaways. I got a really close relationship with Brooke and Angie and Amber and like Angie, the other Angie, everybody that was there. Y'all are just, you're my people. And I'm so, so happy that I got to meet all of you in person. There's not a single one of you that I would not spend an entire week in Punta Cana with. So I'm going to hand it to Brooke.
All right, Brooke, you're up.
Okay. So yes, ditto to what everybody else said. It was such a good time, but I was trying to reflect on, I guess the last few months on like actually what I did to earn the trip. Because I feel like the last month or two, I still have been in a little bit of a funk. And so I'm like, I don't even know. Like, how did I even get here? Because I don't feel like I'm doing what I was doing, or things aren't going the way they were going when I earned this trip. So it feels very like, oh, but anyway, so that's what I was kind of going to talk about, if that's okay. So I've started to like just do some reflection on like, what in the world, what was it? I think there was a couple things. I think showing up excited on social media about Plexus or just about life in general is attractive to people and just regular life, like not even talking about Plexus. Because, and I think that's maybe where I've been lacking in the last month or two. So, and like I think a lot of times when I post, it's not always about Plexus or the products. It's just about life and health or whatever we're doing. So I think like that attraction draws people. And I think that's probably where I was for part of it. And then also like I remember Amber Meadows and I did a Zoom call. So I feel like there were more events or things that I was being proactive about inviting people to. I think when I always have something to invite someone to, then I have something to say to those people that'll like have ghosted me 100 times. And because sometimes I'm like, I don't even know like what to say to this person because I've already talked to them and they don't respond or they don't, or they don't order and they say they're going to order or whatever. So that was something. And then I think consistently reaching out to people and I finally got over just like the feeling of rejection or that they were going to say no or what they were going to think of me or whatever. And so I think I've been a lot more bold about reaching out and saying, and even saying things like, if you're not interested, no worries. Like, just tell me no and I won't bother you again. Like that, it's not going to bother me for you to just say, hey, I'm not interested. And okay. So, because that at least gives me a direction on where to go with them. So those are the few things, but I do think, not everybody's going to be on this trip, but I will say, I will put a plug in for convention that I do think like with the team building, that it is important. Like if you can go. Like if you make the arrangements to get your kids taken care of or to spend the time or the money or whatever to go, because obviously it's going to, and there's going to be more things to sit through and talk and listen to the speakers, but they're always just so encouraging and motivating. So, so team building, and it doesn't have to be like on your team. It can be all these sidelines and people who are not even like you've never met before, and just seeing their energy and their encouragement. I would say definitely try to get to convention. So that's it.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Can you speak to the husbands or at least what Carson's perspective was? I know Brandy had shared a little bit about her husband's perspective too. Because I'm like seeing, or for them to see Plexus from maybe a different angle than just like one-sided in your house is different when you actually go to an event. So do you want to speak to that, Brooke?
Yeah. I think being there gives the husbands, it encourages them as well to see like all of these other women doing the same thing that their wives are doing and that there is like that they can do it. And I think it's just, I think it's important for them to see like the people that we work with and that we talk with every day and that we are listening to and that they're real people and that I just think that's super encouraging. I think that and then that kind of spurs us on. Like them being excited for us, I think just helps us be more excited too. So I do think and it's a great getaway for them just to chill and just relax. But Brandy, what do you think?
I had said on the way down, I said, this trip is either going to make you or break you. Like, you're either going to be all in or all out. And I'm just going to say, he and Karsten, they got really close. He's ready to go down to Vincent's and meet you guys for supper. Like, relationships were built, but we just discussed, like, these are our people. These are homeschooling families. We're from all walks of life coming together, like, having conversations. He's besties now with Megan's mom and Karsten. And I mean, it's just like, he's over here giggling. But we knew that this trip would be the turning point for him too, on whether he was like all in, going to support me, or if he was like, these people are crazy. Like, we need to step back. We're all in, baby.
That's so fun. I'm so glad that you guys didn't just think we were a bunch of weirdos. We can all be at least weird in our own plexus way, in a good way. Okay, next up. Oh, I will also pipe in that our first leaders retreat was in Washington, D.C. in 2015. I went as a senior gold ambassador. Justin's lanyard, he was so ticked when he got there because it said guest. He was actually gold at the time, but it said guest, and he was like, I am not coming back here with a lanyard that says guest. But that leaders retreat was really pivotal for him. We went around and interviewed everybody. And the unanimous thing, two things that people said that we interviewed was don't quit and go silver every month. Like go silver, you know what I mean? Like add 3 people every single month. And that it was sound advice and it has worked very, very well over the last 9 years. So that was really, really pivotal for him. And he'll have to tell you all the story sometime because it's funny when it's his words. But when there was this gal that popped on the elevator and he looked at her lanyard and it said Senior Ruby, he was like, if that girl can do it, he's like, I can do this. So he's totally judging her, whatever. But it was just like the normal factor. Like, okay, these people look normal. It's people from all walks of life. If all of these people can do it, we can definitely do this. So it was just really belief building, especially for him at that first leaders retreat. Okay, I'm gonna kick it over to Becky. Hey, Becky. I know we're all like jet lagged. Some people I know didn't get home till today.
Yeah, I had 3 hours sleep and then went to work that day. So that was interesting, but it was totally worth it. So some takeaways was definitely just getting to go on such an amazing trip and having it paid for and not having to worry about, the financial part of it. That's just incredible. And I'm still like, I feel like it was a dream sometimes. Having my friend Jennifer with me there was absolutely amazing. She's so fun, and it was just great getting to spend time with her. And the community, just seeing everyone that I talk to online, or I don't get to see in person much, so the community is just absolutely amazing. I love that part. What else? I guess too, like the last leaders retreat I went on was the cruise. That was like in November, and I was able to take my husband on it. And this time I was able to take my friend Jennifer. So just having girls trip time, like I've never done that really. And I've never been away from my family that long of a time. So, um, um, so like I just feel so relaxed and just refreshed. I think I really needed that. And I work on a farm too, so I got time off from a lot of physical work and, just other jobs. So it was just amazing.
Yes, and I think for us moms, we maybe don't realize how daily all of the things are. And so I know for me, even like not having to think about food, not having to cook, not having that, and like if you have animals or work another, full-time job or whatever, like exiting the vortex for a little bit just to like recalibrate and think your thoughts, get some rest, it's such a blessing. Do you have anything else that you wanted to pipe in?
Um, I can't think of anything right now.
Okay, no worries. We're gonna kick it over to, let's see. I don't think Jacqueline's on. We'll kick it over to Amber next. Amber Meadows.
Hey, well, I wore my hat in celebration. I don't know if you
I
can read
love
it,
it.
but I really thought Angie Ambrosetti was going to show up with hers too. And I was like, yep, we're going to be twins on here. I'm so disappointed, Angie. Well, so this was part of like one of the things I was thinking of is that, first of all, having back-to-back trips, like the cruise and then this was like, I'm sure a major headache for Plexus, even though they, great. So in the way of like all of the brain work that they had to put into it, like, and I'm just like, even like the gifts, like this was one of the gifts, like the gifts, they gave us a bag and they gave us little things and just, I know sometimes we can get in the mindset of like nitpicking things that maybe weren't perfect, but I think overall, like it was a free trip. Like I didn't pay for anything except to get there, right? So just the gifts, the rooms, the parties that they did. I mean, they're just always fun, and I don't feel like they really spare expense like that. So that's really cool because I wouldn't do that otherwise, right? So this kind of also goes to like just being able to escape, like Megan says, the vortex of motherhood for a little bit. Like I was so bummed that I didn't have like a family member or somebody go with me, but just being able to think your thoughts and not have to cook or think about cooking or any of it was just kind of like, okay, like that in itself is like, yeah, I came back too and was like, I had to cook my breakfast this morning. I was like, where is it? Guess I'll cook today. But anyway, so that is being able to sit in the room and think your thoughts too when they're speaking and not be distracted. And I give props to Melody because she was there with her kiddos, and I'm just like, she is super mom and she's just amazing. But one of the things when I was thinking there, just thinking of when you had time to just not be distracted with life and things around you, I could really tap into like, what is like one of the things that's holding me back, or what's one of my fears that I wasn't thinking of. So I was messaging Megan the entire time through those sessions. So there's things just kind of popped into my head. And one of the things was spend time. I heard this over and over, spend time on what moves the needle. Like let go of the things that are not working. And maybe there are folks that are not pushing, or maybe it's not time for them to be working it, but work on the things that are moving the needle forward. And I'm so super thankful for our community, whether it's just our team or the larger Plexus community. Just being able to meet them in person, see you guys in person, because I kind of feel like I live away from everybody. So I'm thankful to get to actually pick your brains and talk to y'all in person. Sunday night, of course, is close to my heart. I love the worship on the beach, of course. And then I feel like I could have easily slept in. So I'm really thankful, or just had other things distract me away. So I'm thankful for people who gather us and make worship a priority. So I'm thankful for that too. And then of course I got to see the dolphins, and I wasn't going to do the excursion, or I was going to do the excursion and then I talked myself out of it. And then I got to see the dolphins 2 days in a row. So Brooke, I got better pictures from day 2. I went with Cassie's team. So I will send those to you too. So that's just super fun. So anyway, those were my takeaways.
Love. All right, Angie Gaddy, are you able to unmute?
Hello. It was such a blessing. Oh my goodness. There's so many takeaways. So today I was working on messaging everybody on my team and asking specifically, what are your intentions with Plexus? So I am revamping and redoing things and getting complete clarity from each and every one of them. So I was working on that all day today. And I also, everybody was, I loved, I missed my husband not going, but I loved the community, our friendships, the iron sharpens iron. I am so inspired, and I am going to go look for people who want this business and be more excited, because I needed the excitement this trip by myself, you guys. And I'm just gonna say I I needed this, because I felt like I've been stuck, and I felt like I was in a rut, but that's no longer. And I'm so excited. And that massage was awesome. The $500 I got was amazing. I mean, it was just, God knew what I needed. And this trip was fantastic. So that's all I got. And I'm going to inspire everyone to go to convention. I'm going to ask every person on my team if they're going to convention with me, because in person, our events are essential. And I was reading Get Over Your Damn Self on the airplane, and that phrase that you always use, Megan, you're not going to die, just go do it. It's out of that book, and I wrote it down, and I'm using it from here on out.
Yes.
Anyway.
We need to get the
yes.
Just make the t-shirts. Okay, so Angie Gatti's name was picked in the randomizer, and it was so fun because we were like, come on, one team, somebody from the team earn money. Because they do these, not earn it, just they get to be a winner. So from stage, they gave away was it like $10,000? It was a lot of money, cash, to people in the crowd. And so it was so fun to see Angie's name pop up there, and everyone was like screaming and cheering for her. So that was just a really cool moment. Angie, I really like that you gave some specific actions that you're taking. Obviously that is the goal after we attend an event, to like get into action. And so the fact that you're having those critical conversations, which I know we talked about in our little mastermind session on the beach, which these events, I agree. Every one of us, if you are not registered for a convention, go do it tonight before you go to bed, because leaders are born in events. Leaders show up to events, and also the things that happen in the in-between moments at events, that's where the magic happens. It may not be listening to John Maxwell again during the main session. It actually may be in the one-on-one or the little small group thing that you have over coffee or something, or whatever in the in-between times, or maybe something that someone says in passing that like is the difference between you staying where you're at and making six figures a year. So anyways, I just wanted to mention those critical conversations. I gave those little snippets to everybody, those little sound bites that came from Genevieve, but finding out people like what the goals are from the people on our teams, and to find out how we can assist them with that, right? Finding out, like where Plexus fits in their lineup of priorities. That way there's clarity. Because if there's clarity, then we have more, it's easier to help them because we know what they want, right? And so I know I was chatting with several of you about about this, but basically, what do you want, and do you think that you can achieve it? What do you want, and do you believe you can achieve it? I think that was my question. And if there's an inkling of not sure whether you can, like you personally, or you're not feeling worthy of it, or if any of those things are popping up for you, like those little subconscious things that are like in the back of your mind, you need to verbalize it to somebody. And I'm having conversations on the side with different people specifically about this concept. And I feel like I'm beating a dead horse because I've had several conversations with you guys about this. But for those of you who weren't in the conversation, I'll just share really fast. The 4 pillars of belief are critical. It's like the make or break, do or die in this business. And when we were on a Jewel call like a week or two ago, Chandler was saying that, so there's a girl on her team that's developing rubies, which we need to get her on a team call because I want her to talk to you guys, because I want to glean from her. But she said basically this girl has the four pillars of belief. She has belief in herself. She has belief in the products, belief in the comp plan, and belief in network marketing. Okay, so the four pillars of belief are different than the four pillars that we talk about in network marketing. The four pillars are like recruitment, duplication, leadership, and retention, right? Did I say those right? Anyways, those are important also. But I think the belief thing is really, really critical. And I would just invite you to explore if you're struggling with belief in any of those areas, because it's changeable. Like it's fixable in the sense that if you're recognizing a lack of belief in any of those areas, you can go bolster it by listening to testimonies, learning more, and like just learning more about the industry of network marketing. It might be even that simple, so that when you present the opportunity or the products or both to people, like Brooke said, it's an aura, AURA, that is like surrounding you as a person. It's not something that even is maybe explainable, but it's something that's felt. And so if you lack belief in yourself, it's going to come across in your posts or in your presentation. If you lack belief in the products or the comp plan or whatever, like that's going to come across. And it might come across in the fact that you're not taking action, right? So anyways, just wanted to make a quick mention there. Also, I don't know if any of you have stories from the weekend, but I was going to share a quick story, and I've shared it with several of you already, but it's worth reiterating. So some of you know Marianne's mom. I think her name is just Joanne. Anyways, her mom was in a different company, a different network marketing company, and top of the company, successful, all the things. Was at convention with Marianne last summer, listened to John Maxwell. And John Maxwell's like almost 80 years old and he's still mentoring people. And so she came away from the conference asking herself the question that like, maybe I haven't aged out of network marketing. And so, anyways, long story short, she is a fast start senior Ruby. She shared on one of Angie's team calls not too long ago, but she's so inspiring. She was at the VIP reception. We had a little chit chat with her. Like Brandy mentioned that she's earned more with Plexus in 6 months than it took 6 years in her other company. So just FYI, you are in the right place, right time, perfect timing, spoken from somebody that's been in network marketing for many, many years. Anyways, she was chatting with my friend Trisha, who is a top diamond in Plexus, and they were brainstorming, okay, because she's on her team. And she's planning to go Emerald this month. And Trisha was sharing like where she's projected to end. It's a long shot. I won't talk numbers right now, but it's a long shot. And she said, you know what? Who am I to tell her she can't do it? Because if she believes she can do it, she can totally do it. And so she was asking like what her game plan was, whatever. These are like old school network marketers, right? And so their game plan is to go home and call everybody they know, call on the phone. And Trisha's like, okay, all right, do it. She goes, you know what? 99.9% of the people in that room that we were in at Leaders Retreat would not do that. Like, and that's the thing, like in this business, we have to be willing to do things that most people aren't willing to do. And are you going to die calling your friends up? No. I mean, when you truly believe you have an opportunity that's phenomenal in products that a large demographic of the population needs, I mean, the statistics are in our favor, you guys. 7 out of 10 people have considered having their own business. And when you just look at the population, you just look and observe, they need our products. So many people have issues that link back to gut health and inflammation. And I mean, obesity and diabetes is like epidemic levels, and affecting people at younger and younger ages. So anyways, soapbox that I know you all are on with me, but I just thought that was really, really cool. So whatever your goal is, I promise you it's not as big as Marianne's mom. And so let that inspire us. We have how many days left in the month? Like 7 days left. That's like a year. A week in network marketing is like, well, I don't know. It's not a year, but like it's a significant amount of time to make things happen. And there's no reason why, whatever your goal is, that you can't tap in the next 7 days and make some things happen. So, anyways, it's inspiring there. Also, was gonna just mention the Lori story. Trisha asked me if I'd heard her story of how she made her first 100,000. And for the sake of those that are listening to this or will listen to the recording, I'll share it really fast. So basically, Lori Bradford is a top diamond in Plexus. Her daughter was, I think, the youngest diamond in Plexus years ago. Anyways, when Lori was 18, she went to a call center and she walked in and there was like two long tables pretty much filled with men in business suits. And then herself, 18-year-old girl, Lori. Okay, so the guy comes in to train them and says, okay, basically what your job is, you're going to come in every single day, and for 8 hours a day, all you're going to do is call people. And 99.9% of the time, you are going to hear no. But if you stay on for a year, you'll make $80,000. If you stay on for that second year, you're going to make $300,000. Guess what happened that first year? Lori was willing to hear no, and she totally earned that amount of money. Second year, guess what happened? Most of the men in the business suits had quit. So isn't that interesting? And then she brought that skill set, that perspective in when she started her Plexus business. And I wanted to share this story because I think so many of us start this and we're amazed at how many people say no. We're shocked, we're surprised. We think there's something wrong with us personally. We think we're not good leaders. Like we make it all about us. And the reality is it takes a lot of conversations and most people say no. But the reality is that we're looking for people who need what we need or need what we have, sorry, need what we have. And we're looking for people that want an opportunity. And so it takes a lot of conversations and we have to be okay with that. You have to, you have to believe so much that you can keep going even when you keep hearing no's or even when you're getting ghosted. That's normal. That's part of it. And we're out there to go help the next person. We help one and then we help one and then we help one. That's how you go emerald. That's how you go diamond, is you help one. And you learn the skill of helping that one help help more people, right? As we build a team. And I wanted to share that because I thought I feel like it's really, really helpful just to hear perspective. Because I know Justin said this on calls too. Like it takes a lot of conversations, guys, and we have to be okay. There's a very few in our immediate circle that said yes to us. Actually, of our local circle, like working the business with us, is like one. That would be Gretchen Phillips, who is a senior Ruby working on Emerald on our team. So isn't that interesting? One out of the circle that Justin went to and was basically like to the husband, dudes, don't pass this opportunity up. You should totally take advantage of it. And they said, yeah. And look what's happened. So all that to say, was there anyone else that was at Leaders Retreat that wants to pipe in? Who did I miss? Jennifer, do you want to share? You're kind of an outsider on the trip with all this crazy Plexus people. I'm totally putting you on the spot. You don't have to share if you don't want to, but
Yeah, I to share. Can y'all hear
okay.
me?
Yeah.
Yes. I've already had 5 people asking me about it.
How? Because you're
I'm just like, okay. Give me a moment. Yes. I was very excited about that. I've called Becky. Becky, what do I do? What do I do? What do I say? I'm
That's
getting
awesome.
more information. So, I don't know. I just shared my trip and how fun it was and how I met all these awesome ladies and how excited they are and how I want to be that person running up there saying, yeah, I got the fucking just I don't know. It was just exciting. It was fun. I enjoyed meeting all of you. All of y'all were very so nice to me. Thank you, Brooke and Angie and Brandy and all both Angies and you, Megan, and everybody and Becky. I just had a really great time and I'm gonna go at it
Yay.
and go at whatever God wants me to do because I've like I said I've been looking for that side hustle because I'm one of those percents so I can retire and stay and maybe retire myself a little bit.
Yes.
uh, so that I had a really and I guess I really liked how y'all all worked together and came together as a team, supported each other. And I think that's one thing I really liked about it. So
Love. Well, that's super fun. Did you make a post?
yeah, so
Or
now,
how are what are people's how do people know?
well, I've just all my people at school. It's all these 5 people at school. Well, 4 people at school, and one of my friends called me up tonight, and she's like, "I saw your post. It was wonderful. Tell me all about it." And she's like, "Yeah, yeah, get me some more information. I want something for my kid and something for me." And I was like, "Okay, okay, yay!"
Very fun.
So and then so
Well, keep us
um,
posted how it goes. You're gonna
I
be
will.
gold. You're gonna be like you're gonna be like Brandy and go like gold in 12 days. 7 days, you could beat
I
her.
try my best.
Ah,
I try my best. But thank you for everything that I've done, and I'm just writing down everything you're saying, Megan, so I can have notes. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm enjoying it. Everybody was so much fun, and had a great time. I'm glad Jacqueline and I did not fall in the water when we were kayaking.
well, that's good. We're glad you're with us.
Yeah.
And you
And
did
Becky is such a good leader, and she's such a good person, and I enjoy hanging out with her and getting her out of her comfort zone. Right, Becky?
yes, that's so fun. All right, I
Yeah.
gotta direct a toddler that's out of bed. Hang on.
So that's about it. If anybody else wants to say anything.
I think it's all you now, Jennifer. You have to talk for the rest of the time.
Okay, what would y'all like to know? I'm in my bedroom. This is my room. I'm sitting on the bed. It's been a busy day at school. I would like to I just got to learn more, and I'm a learner. I'm a teacher also, so and I do consider myself a leader. So I'm gonna
How did you
do.
get your 5 people? Did you make a post or did you just
No, no, I didn't. Everybody knew I was going on a trip, so they were like, "Oh," well, and they were like, "Oh, what did you do? Why were you there? Oh," and then I just, "Oh yeah, I want to hear some more about that. Yeah, can you get me some information about it?" So I was like, "Yeah, give me a day, give me a day, so I can go home and get some help."
That's
That is
So
so fun.
cool.
yes,
Very
so
fun. Okay, let's see.
Hey, Jennifer, can I ask a question real quick? How long has she been on the product? How long have you been a customer?
well, like I said, I was on it for a while and then I quit.
So you're one of those people that you realize that you needed it back.
Yes, I am.
Okay, you need to share that. You have to share that. People who leave the products and realize what they were missing and then come back, you need to share that.
Okay.
That's huge. Yeah, so I did 12 days, you're gonna do it in 7. By next week, I expect you to be gold. That's awesome. You were meant to be on that trip.
Thank you.
So fun. Okay. Well, we're going to wrap this up. Thank you all for popping on and just debriefing. Angie, do you want to make a little plug for that book study?
Yes, yes. First of all, I do want to say, Amber, I would totally wear the Gilligan hat, but I mean, look at my bun for crying out loud. It's as tall as I am. Those hats, I have to be strategic in it. So, anyways, okay, guys. So, let's see, get this in the right side. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this book. You're probably not familiar with it because it just came out. It is by Jamie Kern Lima. She is the one who created It Cosmetics in her living room with her husband years ago. I'm going to give you a little background on her, but long story short, she sold her cosmetic line to L'Oreal for $1.2 billion. She's the first female CEO for L'Oreal. She's amazing. And so I just want to read you a little bio that I have from her. But the gist of this is this, guys. The book was just released, and Brooke Hemingway is doing a private book study with using this book. If you buy the book from Brooke's website, it's $20. They'll mail it straight to you. The opening call is this Sunday, and then there's 2 other calls. And depending on how many people Brooke is able to get in her group, Jamie's going to come in and do a live book study, a talk with us. it also has the keynote speech that Jamie did at Align this past year. I was there. It was amazing. But just listen really quickly, this little bit of bio from her. She was given away at birth and adopted. She has been on a journey to learning and believing that she is here for a purpose, on purpose, for the purpose, and is worthy, lovable, and enough. She's a mom of two. She's an active investor, speaker. She was on the Good Morning American show 2 days ago. She's an active philanthropist. She's funded, listen to this, leadership training in more than 100 prisons and shelters across the United States. And she's donated over $40 million in products and to help women face the effects of cancer with confidence. She 100% believes that we are worthy, that you can be worthy. And so many times in this business, we find that we don't have the confidence. The 4 pillars that Megan talked about, I was just talking with a teammate tonight who was saying, I have a few of those pillars, but I don't have the self-confidence. And so this might be something that will boost you up. I'm getting nothing from it. I'm just saying I'm excited. I got the book. I'm excited about doing the book study, and whatever Brooke Hemingway brings, she brings it to the max. So I'm going to pop the her website in the comments, and then I'm also going to put it. There are 3 dates that she's doing her calls, and so I was going to stick that in there too, just in case you guys want to look into it. But again, in order to be in Brooke's book study, you have to get the book from her website, and I'm going to pop that in there right now.
Okay, thanks for that. And I actually wasn't going to put my stamp of approval on this and like promote it to the team, because sometimes I've promoted, like done a book study that I haven't personally read yet. And so I was like, oh, I don't know if I should do another one of those. But I just feel like it's, especially with just multiple things that have pointed to the fact that there's a lot of us that struggle with like self-worth, or just struggle with belief in ourselves, confidence, whatever. This might be really transformative for your journey. And so, as with anything that's not the Bible, take the meat, throw out the bones, use your own discernment goggles as you read it. But I think that there will be some nuggets in here, especially if you really, really struggle with that. So, and also just to say, like, we need to be investing as leaders in our personal growth. And that's something separate from spiritual growth. That's important too. But investing in our leadership and personal growth is so important. I actually just finished this book when I was on the trip by Jocko, called Extreme Ownership. So good, so good. And so I really appreciate, I know so many of you were on Jessica Heffley's book study, How to Win Friends and Influence People, in January. And so having just an ongoing something in your ear to just help us get better, because who you are now, the team that you're leading now, you're going to have to become a better version of yourself to lead the next larger team. So if you're currently senior Ruby, like, you need to have the leadership skills to lead a Ruby team. If you're currently senior Ruby, you need to have the skills to lead an Emerald team, and vice, so on and so forth. So that's why leadership and personal growth is so important, like we always talk about. Did everyone snag the link really quick? Let me maybe just copy it to the notes in your phone or something. Oh, good. I'm so glad you're listening to that. Yeah, I think that's a really good book. And Brooke Hemingway she helped me so much, and I have mad respect for her, but helped me when I was a stalled out Emerald. Her systems is why the team went diamond. I mean, obviously it was a team effort, but like, her teaching systems was like the X factor to growth back, like, whatever it was, 6 years ago, 7 years ago. Crazy. Okay, guys, thanks for popping on. I hope this was helpful, just to kind of debrief together. Don't forget, I am giving away a walking mat. We were 3 people short of our goal, and I admit that it was partially my fault for not popping in like the numbers for where we were at, but we were so out of pocket, and I was not tracking like how many orders were coming in over the weekend. So I'm going to run it again. And if we can unlock 30 new level, or 30 VIPs between now and Sunday, I'm giving away one of these walking mats, which is so fun. So anyways, something to work towards and remind your teams and get excited about. Also, don't forget, this is another little action mention, but the rank up chats that they talked about from stage, we are doing those. So if you have people on your team that can rank up this month, like let's create some little chats, okay? Or maybe some collaborative group chats with several of you. But I know Madison Amberzetti is going for Ruby this month. And so she created a group chat today with her teammates. She has like, I don't know, 6 to 10 people ranking up with her. And so we can do this in multiple different ways. So like if you have a couple of people from your team and there's some like collaboration that needs to happen, so there's a little bit more of an exciting, bigger chat, we can totally do that. So get with me or your sponsor if that's something that you want to initiate for your team. And if you are going to go for a rank up, you yourself personally, or a point goal, that's also really good to like verbalize to someone and be like, hey, this is the goal I'm going for. And I want to collaborate with someone. Someone needs to hold me accountable because I'm scared out of my mind to verbalize this goal out loud. So, alrighty, guys, thanks for hopping on. Go get
Hey,
some.
Meg,
Yeah.
can I say something real quick? Somebody, Amber, had asked about vendor events, so I just put my link in there because Jessica Heffley just rebooted that. So if you want to, on vendor events, Amber, I do a ton of vendor events with my team. So they asked me to make a video on it. So if you're still on here, you can copy that link. And if you can't get it quick enough, just message me and I'll send it to you.
Yes, and I think Jessica's been reposting those one a day in May videos, and there's one that popped up recently that I did about hosting sip and sees. And so yeah, stack the rest of this month with sip and sees. Help your people PLLP and do some in-person events because yeah, it's the time. It's the time for in-person things for sure. Okay, you guys have a great night. Thanks for hopping on. Talk to you soon.